Chapel Hill has seen its share of history through the years and some more tonight. For the first time in 4 decades, it's an ACC dual meet in college gymnastics. North Carolina and NC State tonight. Hi everybody, alongside the former Georgia all-arounder Sydney Sneed, my name is Matt Krause. Well, Sydney, it's an exciting time for these programs. Opening competition in the ACC. ACC Gymnastics is back. And as they start out conference play, we've seen big gymnastics from them already this season. NC State veteran Chloe Negretti, certainly an example of that.
I mean, wow, what a difference maker she is for this NC State gymnastics team. She's confident, she's very, very consistent, and she brings a lot of experience with this being her 5th year. Her leadership and passion will help bring some of the newcomers that the team has this season. Really looking forward to watching her tonight.
Negretti, one of 3 fifth years on the NC State roster this season, honored as the ACC Specialist of the Week, as has Isabel Schaefer of North Carolina.
She is just such a gorgeous gymnast to watch. She makes her gymnastics look effortless every single time she competes. I just love the confidence she brings, and it shows by matching with her career high on bars last week in just the 2nd meet of the season. She's poised for a breakout year, Matt.
A 9.925 on bars last week at the Sprouts Farmers Market Collegiate Quad event out in Utah. Now NC State, North Carolina, opening up the ACC dual meet portion of their season. North Carolina competing in Olympic order tonight as the home team. Coincidentally enough, we'll see Schaefer on vault to get things started for the Tar Heels. NC State opens things up tonight on bars. One change in the Wolfpack lineup in this event from last week's competition out in Utah. Ellie Hadrick, freshman, will make her collegiate debut as the 3rd gymnast in the order for NC State. So Sydney, here we are, ACC competition, 4 decades in the making. NC State, North Carolina should be a fun meet tonight.
Absolutely. Like you mentioned earlier, big gymnastics. That's what we're going to see tonight. It's the 3rd meet of the season for both of them. They're more comfortable with competing now, and we see some lineup changes here and there, but it's going to be a really fun meet to watch.
Both of the head coaches told us in our conversations prior to this meet that competing out of the collegiate quad in Utah helped them get used to the bright lights and the flashing cameras, big gymnastics all the way around. Dana Durante, the head coach of the Tar Heels in her 3rd season, a word with her former assistant, Philip Ogletree, now on staff at NC State, working under Kim Landris, the 7th-year head coach of the Wolfpack.
It really does make a big difference, though, when you are at these quad meets. There's cameras everywhere. It's a big arena. You're on podium. The equipment may feel different, and that's what it's going to be like on a national level and at nationals. So it's good practice to have that exposure, especially so early on in the season.
3 different quad meets out in Utah last week in the Salt Lake City area. Carolina and NC State both competed out there. Real great showcase for the sport early on in the season. Some fantastic TV ratings on ABC. Just the start of another really exciting year of college gymnastics on the road to nationals. What's new is ACC competition this year. And it gets going for North Carolina and NC State. So on vault for North Carolina, Isabel Schaefer, a 9.625 for her last week. Career best in 9.825 for the junior from Charlotte.
They're really going to want to see a big, nice stuck landing on this vault to start out this lineup. Really nicely done, tuck full. You can see she landed in between those white lines that we've talked about before. That's something that the judges will be looking at.
Judges looking at the white lines as well as holding that landing. That is a new judging criteria this year, Sydney.
Absolutely. It's something that all of these gymnasts have to be aware of. You can see with this really cool angle, right in between, maybe a little bit off to the right, but it's hard to tell from the side, so well done.
NC State starting things out on bars tonight. Kaylee Adamitis, sophomore from Long Island, New York, first to get going for the pack. 9.6 for her last week. Career best is a 9.825.
And that's a solid routine to start off this lineup. Taking another look at this dismount, a nice double tuck. Almost had that stick, but a great way to start off that bar lineup.
Mentioned Isabel Schaefer as a potential breakout candidate for the Tar Heels. Dana Durante is also pointed to Gwen Fink, sophomore from the Charlotte area, Fort Mill, South Carolina. Competed all around, scored a 39 there last week. On vaults, for Fink, it was a 9.725. Career best is 9.825 in this event.
Getting ready for that Yurchenko full. Really nice vault. There's going to be deduction on that hop back, but distance was great. There's so many things the judges look at. The height off the table, the distance from the table to your landing. You could see she got that, but had to unfortunately take that hop. But overall, very clean and nice vault.
Important to know that a Yurchenko full there, that is a 9.95 start value.
Right.
So already you're starting with a slight deduction, not possible to get a 10.
You are starting with that half a tenth deduction, which can add up at the end of a lineup. So we may see a couple 10-0 vaults.
It was a 9.75 for Isabel Schaefer, and our first score of the night that's come in. Back over to bar as we go. Peyton Child set to compete for NC State, junior from Holly Springs, North Carolina. 9.765 last week out in Utah. Her career best is a 9.85 on bars. NC State's third meet of the season. Kim Landris told us a focus for them has been discipline in the details, which in one sense, that's gymnastics as a sport. But in another, it's an important reminder, especially early on in the season.
Yes, it is. Gymnastics is, there's such a focus on the detail. Sometimes it's hard to think beyond that, but it's important too. But with the details, it's the landings, it's the handstands, it's the small steps that you're trying to take, and the consistency is the biggest thing. A nice Jaeger straight into that shoot over. Nice handstand on top of the bar. Again, such an easy deduction is those handstands, but nicely done. Couldn't quite get the stick on that dismount. You can see, almost had it. Slight deduction on that.
Julia Miller, Louisiana Lightning for the Tar Heels.
Wow, really nicely done. Another Yurchenko full. She is pumped about that. You can see that huge full. Notice the height that she gets off the table. That's what I'm talking about with what the judges want to see. Huge height. And then you're right, that she was ready for the landing. She knew where it was.
A couple of score updates. On vault, Gwen Fink, a 9.775 for the Tar Heels. For NC State, Adamitis, a 9.7. Still awaiting the Child score, the second competitor for the Wolfpack. Ellie Hadrick preparing for her collegiate debut, freshman from Durango, Colorado. NC State as a team added 7 freshmen to their program, more freshmen than any other class on the roster. So it's kind of a experience sandwich, if you will, for NC State, because they've got those 3 fifth years very experienced gymnasts, then 7 freshmen as well.
7 freshmen is a lot, and when you're teaching them, you know, college in general, but on top of that, being a student athlete is a whole separate layer, and it is really hard. So for them to be debuting and doing so well is really awesome to see. Getting ready for her nice release move to the high bar. Immediately back down with that pack salto. Really going for those handstands. Then a nice dismount. Another good routine for NC State.
Feet were a little apart there. That should be a deduction on the dismount.
On the dismount, yeah. You can see right here. Really good height off the bar. Landed down, her shoulders were down. And when your shoulders are down, that's where your body weight goes. So it does make it more difficult to stick.
Kaya Forbes.
Really big 1.5. That's a 10-0 start value. And she landed that really nicely, had to take that step back. But again, it's a blind landing. So it is really difficult to have the correct timing. Nicely done in the air. Just looked like the landing surprised her a little bit. So that's going to be a deduction. But again, an improvement from last week. So she's got to feel confident about that.
Yeah, last week just a 9.35 for Forbes. She fell on the dismount. That very complicated 1.5.
It's that blind landing. It's just so tough, and it's just repetition. You just have to start getting better at, you know, in practice, repeating, spotting, finding that landing. And obviously it's a lot harder than it looks. She made that look easy in the air.
By the way, Julia Noer, a season-high 9.825 on vault for Carolina. Peyton Childs' bar score is in. It's a 9.725 for the NC State's competitor, the junior. Katie Harper next for the Wolfpack, a freshman from Columbus, Ohio, 9.625 a week ago. Debuted 2 weeks back in the dual meet against Georgia with a 9.8. 9.75 for Hadrick.
That was a Ginger release move she just did, which is very difficult. She's flowing through the routine very well. A couple of form breaks here and there. You can see a little bit of bent legs and flexed feet, but nice double layout. Very pretty.
Let's take a look back at the gainer.
We'll see that release move again. You can see difficult release move. Had no problem grabbing the bar on that.
Molly Decanoid's on vault.
Huge vault, landed a little bit short. But overall, she's a big vaulter. We'll take another look. Nice pop off the table. I think she just broke out a little bit early and couldn't quite get that landing. So that's going to be a deduction for that step forward. And usually, if you have too much power and you take a step back, it looks a little better than landing short and stepping forward. So we may see a bigger deduction on that step forward.
Lex Ortega on bars for the Wolfpack. Ortega, graduate student from Tampa, one of the 3 fifth-year competitors on the NC State roster. 9.8 a week ago. Career best is a 9.9 on this event.
Just like you said, a graduate student, another 5th year. They just have so much experience and can bring so much as leaders to this team, which is something that Kim Landris was telling us all about. Really difficult release move, nicely done. Into that shoot over, right back up to the high bar. Nice handstand. I really like how State has been going after these handstands. Into that beautiful double layout. Nicely done. Let's take another look at this dismount. Very good release. She just found that landing.
Paige Prejean, the anchor on vault.
Another full twisting Yurchenko. Slight step to the side. But nice chest up on that vault. Nice landing. Let's take another look. Really good distance. Landed a little bit with that chest down, like we've seen a little bit.
A couple of scores coming in on vault. Kaya Forbes, a 9.825 for the Tar Heels. Decanoids, a 9.725. Saw her take the big step on the dismount. But as of now, it looks like Carolina's going to be able to drop Decanoids as 9.725. Back to bars we go for Emily Shepard. Another one of the fifth-year competitors. 9.775 a week ago. Career best 9.925 for the all-arounder.
She's an incredible athlete as well. It's been so fun to watch her these last couple years. She really makes her gymnastics look effortless as well, and just such pretty form and good lines that she has.
Shepard and Ortega, the all-arounders, competing tonight for NC State. Noah and Fink for North Carolina.
Beautiful handstands. Into that really big Jaeger release move. Just looking at a nice stuck landing on this dismount. She will be happy with that. Really nice. Wow. And that's how you do it right there.
What a landing for Shepard and NC State.
Putting an exclamation mark on that lineup. Huge Jaeger release. And then looking at this dismount, look at the height off the bar. Doesn't even have a problem with that stick. That's going to be a big score for NC State.
Ortega a 9.8 after the career best 9.85 for Harper, the freshman. Ortega's 9.8, a season high. By the way, for North Carolina, Prejean a 9.65. So that'll be the score that's dropped in Carolina with a 48.9 on vaults. So Carolina with their second highest vault score of the season. If you're new to gymnastics, 6 gymnasts compete per rotation. The lowest score is dropped. So it is a total of the top 5 scores. In Carolina's case, Prejean's 9.65 is dropped. The Tar Heels finish up with a 48.9. It is ahead of last week's 48.75, but touch off the 49.15 from the season opening quad meet for the Tar Heels. Exhibition on bars for NC State, Maddie Reed. Reed is a sophomore from Chapin, South Carolina. Wolfpack at the moment with a 48.825, still awaiting that expected big score from Emily Shepard.
Exhibition routines are always great to watch too, because we're so early on in the season, the lineups are shifting and changing each week. And so every gymnast and athlete wants to have an opportunity to compete, and this is the best way to be able to do that, especially in a meet environment.
Here comes the score for Shepard, 9.825. For Shepard, it's a season high. NC State with a 48.95. Little hop on the dismount there in the exhibition. But NC State 48.95 on bars. It is a season high for NC State in this event. And the Wolfpack up by a hair. One rotation complete here from Carmichael Arena. ACC opener for the Wolfpack and Tar Heels. One rotation complete here at Carmichael Arena. NC State in front of North Carolina in this ACC opening dual meet for both teams. Hi everyone, thanks so much for being with us here tonight alongside Sydney Sneed, the former Georgia Bulldog. I'm Matt Krause. Well, Sydney, one rotation down. What'd you see?
Well, UNC had a great vault. They've continued to build each and every week with their vault lineup. They've got to be feeling confident about that. We saw some big gymnastics. And moving on to NC State, again, their highest bar score this season. Starting off on that first event, I mean, they've got to be feeling great too.
Great start for NC State. Let's look at Carolina's vault now. Second highest vault score of the season for the Tar Heels. Kaya Forbes with a really nice bounce back after a tough vault last week.
We saw a 10-0 start value from her. Again, very hard landing to nail, but she does a great job with that. And then on to Julia Noer, another huge fall. You could see it in her reaction. Her face says it all. Nicely done.
Over on bars, Emily Shepard for NC State put on a show.
Another great bar routine. We saw big releases and great handstands. And then an exclamation point with this huge dismount with that stuck landing. Great way to end their first rotation.
High fives all around NC State and Carolina. Carolina on vault. Tar Heels with a 48-9, their second highest total of the season. For NC State, their best bar rotation so far this year. That's what you want to see there, Sydney, is that first score is the one that's dropped.
Right, you want your lineup to build with each gymnast that goes. So there is no really formula or perfect lineup. Well, I take that back. There may be a formula. It might be different for every team, but the goal is to continue to build with the scores.
Kim Lenders and her Wolfpack off to a strong start here tonight in Chapel Hill. The second rotation coming up after this. NC State in front by a half-tenth on to the second rotation here in Chapel Hill. NC State will be on vault, North Carolina on bars in rotation number 2. Lineup unchanged for NC State from a group that scored a 49-175 last week.
Just take a look at that lineup. You see graduate with Lex Ortega, Emily Shepard, Chloe Negretti. Really excited just to see their big vaults and just their experience in this lineup.
Something Kim Landers talked to us a lot about. Over on bars for North Carolina, the Tar Heels scored a 48-9-5 last week in this event. And they do make a handful of changes. Jamie Shearer is in there. Bella Miller inserted initially in the original lineup that we received. Jessica Naranjo, the freshman, though, after warm-ups, getting the call. NC State on vault. This was, by NQS, their worst event last year, still a 49-075. Yet Kim Landers' team has been over 49 each of the first 2 meets of the season.
We talked about vault being a tough event in the sense that not everyone's starting from that 10-0, so you're automatically getting that half-attempt deduction before you even start.
And Meg Adler competing back at home, a Chapel Hill native, 9-6 a week ago.
She starts with a nice Yurchenko full. No problem on that landing.
Great start for Adler to get things going for NC State.
Take another look at that from the top view. A little bit of pike down on that landing, but she landed straight down the middle, I would say.
Over to the bars, Jamie Shearer for North Carolina.
One thing you really want with your leadoff is a hit. You want a hit routine, a clean routine. And Jamie does a great job with that. She's being a little conservative on those handstands. which we typically see at the beginning of the season. Nice double layout, though. Not conservative on that stuck landing. Great job finishing off that routine.
One more look at this fantastic dismount.
The body position in the air was great. She broke out, knew exactly where she was. Nice job.
Back to vault we go. Lex Ortega for the Wolfpack.
Another Yurchenko fall. Had a slight hop on that. She does a good job on that Yurchenko fall. You can see on the table, her arms are a little bit bent, and that really takes away from that amplitude that she would be getting on the backside of the vault.
Adler, a 9.8 for NC State. Matching a career best. Julia Noer for the Tar Heels. Louisiana junior, 9.7 a week ago on bars. Career best is a 9.9.
She's such a strong and aggressive bar worker. When we say big gymnastics, she is the definition of that.
She's worked so hard to improve herself in this particular event.
Here we go. Starting off, really big release move. You can see she caught that by her fingertips. It was a little far back from the bar. Gearing up for her dismount. Really big. Finishes with that stick. And she's excited about that.
Back-to-back sticks for the Tar Heels to start the rotation.
Just take a look. Big release move, but catches it on her fingertips. Really impressive. And then right into that nice dismount.
There's a 9.6 for Jamie Shearer.
Very good save on that landing. That was a nice vault. I loved the distance that she had from the table to the landing. But let's take another look. You can see she's a little crooked and stays. She had really good air sense because she kept her foot right inside that white line.
The longer the distance off the table, the tougher it is to stick.
Yes and no.
Okay.
It is tougher, but if you have power and height, then sometimes you have more time to be able to break out for that landing. But yes, I see what you're saying there. You're right.
Ortega, by the way, a 9.775 on vault for NC State, awaiting the bar score for Julia Noer of the Tar Heels. Routine pump-up speech.
It's so interesting how athletes are so different with that. Some love having people next to them or the coaches next to them and talking, and then others are very much like, nope, I'm in the zone, I'm focusing, don't talk to me.
What was your preference?
You know, it was different on different events. On some events, I liked talking, but beam, I never wanted anyone to talk to me before.
Jessica Naranjo, the freshman. 9.65 on bars in her first competition as a collegiate gymnast a week ago.
Starting off, huge release, very difficult one. Great routine so far. A little bit rushed, but she's doing a great job with those handstands. Into that dismount. Another stick, wow.
Make
Nice
it 3
finish.
for 3.
Yeah. Hey, sticks are contagious, so. Nice release move. Looked a little bit rushed after that onto that pack, but really nice finish.
Ooh, tough one there for Ashley Knight.
You know, you hate to see that happen because we watched her in warm-ups and she was sticking them left and right.
What went wrong here?
Looked like her hand, you could see her left hand just slid off the table, and on a vault like that, all of your power is coming from your block off the table. So unfortunately, you hate to see that happen because, like I said, we watched her vaults in warm-up and she was sticking them.
Yeah, we were sitting here during warm-ups and we were watching her stick vault after vault.
Yeah.
You asked me, okay, who is that? We need to make a note of that.
We absolutely did. The good thing is, though, that is an easy fix. It was just a hiccup with that hand sliding.
9-7 for Noer. It's a season high for her. Waiting Naranjo scores. Gwen Fink gets set to go. Fink on bars, a 9.755 last time out. Career best is a 9.9.
One thing the coaches said about Gwen Fink is just how consistent she is in her training. And I think that's so important when you're training all season long, all fall. Consistency is one of the most important things in gymnastics.
Second team All-Eagle on bars a year ago in Carolina's final season, competing in the Eagle Conference, now in the ACC.
Really pretty bar routine so far. She has such pretty lines on her handstands. You can see right there the extension throughout into this dismount. Nice double layout. Look how far that double layout traveled.
How about we look again?
You can see perfect release and body shape in the air. Almost had that stick.
Back to vault we go after a 9.75 for Zoltevich. It's Emily Shepard.
She does a huge Yurchenko full. Talk about distance. Wow. Great job covering because she was a little bit crooked.
Got a little close to that side out of bounds line here. Let's check.
Nice block off the table. Almost broke out for that landing, and you can see her really quickly trying to cover that. Nicely done.
It was a 9.05 for Knight. Slipped and fell, so presumably that'll be the score that NC State will drop. Does increase the pressure on Shepard, and she stepped up big. 9-6 for Naranjo on bars for North Carolina, waiting the Fink score. Isabel Schaefer, we talked about her off the top, the ACC Specialist of the Week last week. The first ACC Specialist of the Week for the Tar Heels. 9.925, matching her career high a week ago. What does she have in store for an encore?
Just watching her gymnastics is so much fun. I mean, the form, the toe point, the extension all the way from her legs to her toes. I don't think her feet even move apart. A little bit short on that last handstand, but really big dismount. Almost had that stick, the smallest hop, but great job. You can see a huge Jaeger, beautiful form throughout. And then getting ready for that dismount. Almost had the stick.
The anchor, Chloe Negretti, 9.9 a week ago.
I think that she sticks that ball every single time. I am not surprised at all. That's exactly what they were looking for. She knows it too. Nice in the air. Her feet didn't even have to move. You can see right there, just breaks out and nails it.
It was a 9.775 for Shepard, awaiting the Negretti score. Always a treat to watch Lolly Dekanoidze compete on bars. 9.9 a week ago, career best 9.975. Feel like we said it in our first meet that we worked together, Sydney, this a couple of weeks ago. Feels like a matter of when, not if, that 10 is coming for Lolly.
Absolutely. She's one of my favorite gymnasts to watch, especially on this event. All she needs is a stuck dismount right here. Huge double out.
Oh.
No, it looked just like it gave, her ankle gave out.
You hate to see that.
Next exhibition on the ball for NC State.
It was a 9.825 for Fink prior to Schaefer's score. We've got an exhibition on vaults. Lauren Wrights for the Wolfpack.
Another Yurchenko full. Big step on that landing, so that's going to be a big deduction. But again, great to have exposure, get in the lineup, be in that meet environment.
So NC State's vault score for this second rotation. Negretti in 9.875, touch off the 9.9 that she scored a week ago. It is a 48.975 for the Wolfpack on vaults. Their first time failing to reach 49 this season. So, we will update North Carolina's score on bars and check on Lolly Dekanoidze when we continue here from Chapel Hill. Halfway through our meet tonight at Carmichael Arena in Chapel Hill, North Carolina and NC State. Matt Krause, Sydney Sneed, glad you're with us on this Friday evening. Well, Sydney, some tough luck for both of those teams in that second rotation with falls occurring for both sides.
Yeah, Matt, you never want to see falls happen, but it'll really be interesting to see how they bounce back and really dig deep on these next two events.
Well, that means counting some good scores from that second rotation. And for NC State, we take a look at their vaults as the Wolfpack perform well.
Starting off strong, Yurchenko full, slight hop on that landing, but really key in getting this lineup going, followed by Chloe Negretti's absolutely stunning vault right there. No problem on that stick.
Gwen Fink, a season best 9.825 for the Tar Heels.
We could see a huge release move from her, followed by another nicely done double A on dismount. Effortless routine.
So team score for the Tar Heels on bars. Lolly Dekanoidze's 9.3 is dropped as expected. So for Carolina, it is a 48.525. That is a season low for Carolina. As for NC State, their vaults also a season low with a 48.975. So onward to rotation number 3. NC State and North Carolina, a rivalry meet here in Chapel Hill. Back after this. The Eagle, a thing of the past for NC State and North Carolina. opening competition in the ACC this year. First time since 1984 that the ACC has sponsored women's gymnastics. To rotation number 3 tonight, the Tar Heels on beam. Lineup is unchanged from a group that scored a 48-6 a week ago. On floor in this third rotation, NC State, 49 flat last week.
It'll be important to see how these teams really just pick up the energy a little bit on these last 2 events. Beam and floor. Floor is a fun event. Beam, making sure that both teams are focused and coming off their last event, obviously wanting to see that consistency in the lineup.
Floor a season ago was NC State's best event, 49.355, the NQS, top 25 nationally.
They really have a chance to just have really big, fun gymnastics performances. They get to have some dance and a little bit of fun. So it'll be a great start for them for these last 2 rotations.
Tar Heels over on beam. By the way, if you hear us use the phrase NQS, it stands for National Qualifying Score, and it is the system that is utilized to determine the teams that participate in the postseason. It involves taking the top 6 scores from throughout the season. At least 3 of them must be road scores. You drop the best 1, average the next 5, and you've got yourself an NQS. Freshman Jessica Naranjo competing on beam for the Tar Heels. 9.725 in her collegiate debut last week.
I say this every time, but that leadoff position on beam is so difficult. So to see a freshman really step up to the plate and compete first in the lineup is very impressive. She started off with that front aerial to back handspring connection. I'm not sure she'll get that connection. It looked like she had a slight bobble. We'll see what the judges do on that. Balance beam is such a fluid event. The dance really makes a difference.
Good dismount.
Ends with that stuck back handspring to 1.5. Nicely done. They're gonna be happy with that leadoff spot. Really pretty 1.5. Nice start to the third rotation for them.
On floor for NC State, Lex Ortega trying to bounce back after a tough routine last week, an 8.95. Suffered a fall on floor at NC State's quad meet out in Utah.
Here comes her first pass to that front Rudy. I think she said, "Let's go," after she landed that. Front layout for her second pass. Getting ready for that third pass, the most difficult endurance-wise. No issues there. Front layout to front full. Another great way to start off their third rotation as well.
And a fantastic bounce back for Ortega that has to feel so good after last week.
Take another look. That first pass. I loved the height she got on that, Rudy. There's the let's go. She was excited about that. Into that last pass. A blinds landing, but she had no problems with that.
Back to the beam we go. Cameron Ruda, another freshman, back-to-back freshman.
Really impressive to see 2 back-to-back freshmen. Beam is not an easy event.
9.475 a week ago. Opened her college career with a 9.825 2 weeks back.
Beautifully done, back handspring back layout series. Really nice leaps as well. The judges are looking for that 180-degree split once in the air. Nicely done front tuck. She had a little wobble on that landing, but you don't see too many front tucks on beam anymore. Just has that dismount, round off, a double twist. Really pretty finish. See on this front tuck again, a difficult skill on the balance beam. And then that round off double twist, the slightest hop on that landing. But another solid routine to continue to build for their lineup.
Back to floor. And the freshman Ellie Hendrick, making her collegiate debut tonight, did not compete in either of the first 2 meets of the year for the Wolfpack. Into competition tonight, 12 of the 48 routines for NC State had come from freshmen. That's pretty remarkable to think about when you consider that they have those 3 figures on the roster.
Right, and we have seen so many freshmen tonight. Nice first pass. There's probably a mix of adrenaline going on, a little bit of nerves. And so it's important to keep that composure no matter what event that you're on. But I know we've talked, floor, you're tumbling, more adrenaline, beam, you've got to kind of come down and focus. Really nice height on that front layout. You want to see that rise on the second punch skill. Taking another look. Front layout into that Rudy. Looked like she landed a little crooked. Again, that is a twisting skill, so it's a little more difficult, but no difficulties on that second pass.
Back to the beam for Hallie Thompson, graduate student from Waxhaw, North Carolina, 9.65 last week, career best 9.9.
One thing I like about watching Hallie is just the sharpness that she has on her dance. She starts off with that really difficult triple series. You can see a smile on her face after nailing that one. Well through this beam routine. off 1.5 and stuck that landing. You could see it on her face right when she landed.
Probably the loudest ovation of the night. A really good crowd in Carmichael Arena.
Absolutely. This is a triple series, very difficult, and just done so well by her. And then this dismount, huge round off 1.5.
Back to floor. NC State's Krista Soltevich. Still awaiting some scores coming in on floor. On beam, it was a 9.675 Ruda.
Starts her floor routine with a 2.5 punch front. Really good job on that. I love the smile on her face. Looks like she's enjoying herself so much out there.
This event last week. Her best is a 9.875 for the senior from Pennsylvania.
Ends with that round off back handspring and double tuck. Had a little bit of chest forward on that landing, which is what caused her to step forward, so that will be a deduction. But another solid routine for NC State. You can see here, difficult 2.5 twists, bounces into that front tuck. Excitement's all over her face, I love that. And then ends with that double tuck. Really good amplitude on that as well. Just landed a little bit short.
Ortega on floor, season best 9.675. Hadrick followed with a 9.775. Back we go to beam and Gwen Fink, 9.8. We could go 9.85 a couple of times last season for career best.
She starts out with that switch leap to switch leap, difficult connection, but beautifully done. You can see the flexibility on those split jumps. Triple series right here. Wow. That was perfect. Back handspring, back layout, back layout. One of the most difficult series. Holds on to that because it could have been a way bigger wobble, but great job. Back handspring at 1.5. Small hop, but wow, what a beautiful routine to watch. You can see this back handspring, back layout. Really straight series. And then that front aerial that she absolutely nailed.
Back to floor, Ashley Knight for NC State. A little bobble there, but able to save it.
She just has so much power. You can see it on her jumps, on her dance, which is exactly what you want for floor exercise.
All this coming up for a 9.825 for Zoltevich, a season high for her.
Look at how high she just got on that front pike. Wow. It looked like she was on a springboard. Looked like that was a mic drop. It's a fun little floor routine. And then into that last pass. Rudy punch back layout. You could see on that Rudy punch, looked like her legs just gave out a tiny bit because you really want to see that back layout float into the air. We'll take another look. This, you could see her bounce right up. Truly looked like she was on a springboard. And then that last pass, that Rudy, and then right there, looked like they gave out just a little bit. But good save on that.
Kelly Thompson's 9.725 was a season best, awaiting the Fink score. Now it's Julia Noer on beam for the Tar Heels. The all-arounder scored a 9.675 last week. Her best is a 9.925. That was against NC State last year.
It looks like she's just flipping on clouds. She gets so much amplitude on each skill, and it's just so dynamic throughout this entire routine. And you can see how sharp and tight she's been on all of her landings and every single skill she does, which really minimizes those wobbles. Huge round off 1.5. Almost had that stick, slightest hop backwards, but a nice hit routine for Julia Noer. You can see this series. She made that look really easy. Again with the dismount. Didn't quite hang on to that stick, but again, nice routine.
You see the score for Gwen Fink that just popped up, bottom right corner of your screen on the graphic there. It's a 9.85 for Fink. That's a season best and matches a career high for the sophomore. The night floor exercise just a moment ago was a 9.75. Now it's Emily Shepard.
I just love watching her routine. She's such a good performer. Really big double pike. She has so much power on that. It's just a matter of finding that landing. Gearing up for her second tumbling pass. Front layout to front full. Really where the endurance part kicks in. This last tumbling pass. Huge double tuck. What a way to finish off that floor routine. The biggest deduction was probably on that first pass, that little step forward. You can see right here, double pike, small step forward. So that'll be a deduction, but was not a problem on that last pass.
Anchor competitor on beam for the Tar Heels, Taylor Schultz. Junior from San Antonio, a 9.75 a week ago. Her best is a 9.9.
So far, this beam lineup has looked so sharp and so confident in every single routine that they've done. Talk about bouncing back.
It's a Carolina team that scored a 48-6 a week ago, and Dana Durante's team, their word of the week this week. They've got a word of the week every week. This week it is build. Build on what they've accomplished in the first 2 meets of the year.
That is what they have been doing so far.
Last week the word of the week was finish.
I like the idea of the word of the week. It's a good focus point to have and come back to if you ever get distracted or have too much going on around you.
Really simplifies the goal for the week. Schultz.
Wow. Finishing with that aerial 1.5 stuck. I think that they are building this whole beam lineup right now. It's a really difficult side aerial. Can see how excited Coach Durante is about that routine.
She's excited because in all likelihood, it's going to be a 4th straight season high. Thompson a season high, Fink tied her career best, Julia Noer a 9.775 is a season high.
Wow. So exciting for them.
Chloe Negretti, the anchor on floor. We talked about her right off the top tonight. It was a 9.9 a week ago.
Starts with a double pike. Wow, she dropped into that landing. I don't even know that she needed the step. She's such a dynamic athlete as well, with just every movement, every dance move, every landing. Beautiful leaps and jumps that she's done throughout the routine. Getting ready for her last tumbling pass. Big double top. Wow, that's gonna be a big score. That is how you land a tumbling pass on floor.
Worth another look, huh?
Absolutely, huge double pike. Again, dropped out of it. Don't even know that she needed that step. And now landing so well. Ending with that double tuck, which is very difficult.
Emily Shepard, you see the score pop up there. It's a 9.875. That is a season high for the graduate student. We are going to see some big scores this rotation, Sydney.
I was going to say 9.875. Wouldn't be surprised if Chloe Negretti gets a 9.9.
Would be a 2nd straight. Schultz, by the way, a 9.775. For her, it is a season high, so what we said comes true. 4 straight season highs for the Tar Heels in competitors 3 through 6 on beam. And it's a 48.8 for Carolina. 48.8 is a season high by a whole 0.2 better than the 48.6. They improve upon their score from last week.
That's something to be proud of and gives you so much more confidence, especially so early on in the season. 3rd meet, and they're already building, like we said. And
I was going to try and draw it back to building. 9.925 for Negretti.
Wow, and well-deserved. Beautiful routine to watch.
So Negretti a 9.925, that's a season best. 4 season highs for the Wolfpack on floor. And NC State with a 49.15, their first 49.1 or better on the floor this season. And they'll have an exhibition routine just to cap things off in style.
Another nice first pass. A lot of double pikes that we see, which is a really difficult first pass to have. Ending with it is even tougher, which we've seen a couple of those as well.
NC State knows that score at 147.075. They get themselves a 48.925 or better on beam, which would be a season high, but certainly very doable. 196 is within range tonight, would be their first of the season.
Last pass. Wow. Sticks that double tuck. A nice way to end that floor rotation.
So, NC State and Carolina both posting big scores in rotation number 3. Three down, 1 to go tonight here at Carmichael Arena. 196 within sight for NC State, that's for sure. Hey everybody, Matt Krause, Sydney Sneed. Glad you're with us on this Friday evening. ACC dual meet opener for both the Tar Heels and the Wolfpack. Well, Sydney, theme of the third rotation, bounce backs for both teams.
Absolutely. There was so much excitement, Matt, in that rotation, so much energy in this arena, and a great way to start their last and fourth rotation.
Ton of energy in the arena when Gwen Fink of the Tar Heels matched her career best on beam.
Beautifully done with this triple series she started out with. Back handspring, back layout, perfection. Into that back handspring, 1.5 dismount. Such a nice routine.
Over on floor, NC State's with a season high.
Chloe Negretti, huge tumbling throughout the entire routine. Just so dynamic. It looked just like a vet out there, no problem, and big 9.925 floor score.
A 49.15 for NC State on floor, season best for them. 4 season highs for NC State competitors during the course of that rotation. Over on beam, the Tar Heels with a 48.8. That is a season high for them, a whole 0.2 better than the previous best of 48.6. Dan Durante talking about building a 48.075 in the first meet, a 48.6 in the second, a 48.8 in the third. That's what you want to be doing this point in the year.
That's exactly.
Rotation number 4 coming up after this. NC State starting to pull away after the third rotation. The Wolfpack looking to come into Carmichael Arena and post a big score here tonight. Lali Dekanoidzo was not scheduled to compete in either the third or fourth rotation tonight for the Tar Heels. Saw her take that fall on bars. She is on crutches, as you see. So certainly hope for the best for her as ACC competition continues throughout the rest of the year. Over on beam, NC State concluding their competition tonight with this rotation. Lineup is unchanged from a week ago. And Sydney, this is a rotation where NC State gains nearly a full point from meet 1 to meet 2.
And they absolutely are going to want to have a good beam rotation to build that confidence heading into the rest of the season. They struggled a little bit at their first meet against Georgia, so definitely want to keep building, like we said, with both teams, but really want to on this event.
Over on floor, North Carolina jumped up over a full point in meet 1 to meet 2. And we're underway here on beam. Meg Adler for NC State's 9.725 a week ago, career best 9.825.
She leads off with a nice back handspring back layout series. Switch loop into that straddle quarter. A side aerial, another difficult skill. But any skill is difficult on a 4-inch beam, right?
Absolutely.
Another nice switch side done. Just getting ready for that dismount. And gainer full off the side. Good landing. Almost had that stick. That's definitely something that as the season goes on, she's going to want to focus on. But again, that side aerial, she made it look easy.
Floor and Amy Wozniak, 9.725 a week ago, 9.775. Her first meet of the year, the Tar Heels season opener. Sydney, do you know what Amy Wozniak's family has in common with NC State head coach Kim Landris?
What? I don't.
Wozniak is one of 5 siblings. Her youngest 3 siblings are triplets. Kim Landris is a triplet.
Wow. That is a really fun fact. You can see her first pass, that whip to double tuck. Again, going from the whip straight into a double tuck is not something you see often. Beautifully done, though.
Great crowd of Carolina students behind Wozniak, cheering her on this 4th and final rotation of the night.
Now for that last tumbling pass. Big double pike. She's happy with it. Really nice way to start off. You can feel all the excitement and the energy in the arena right now. Especially after this first pass. We'll take another look. Huge whip to double back. I love that pass. And then ends with a double pike.
Macy Jennings competing on beam, junior from Apex. 9.75 a week ago, 9.875 is the career best for her.
Another triple series. Back handspring, back layout. We're seeing a lot more triple series this year than we've seen in the past, but it is a really good way to get bonus on the beam routine. Another nicely done side aerial. I love the smiles on beam. Ends with that gainer dismount, a nice stick.
Feels like another big score coming for Jennings after Adler posted a 9.825. Let's take a look back at Jennings' performance.
Just so well done on that triple series. Saved a bigger wobble from happening, which is exactly what you want to see.
Bella Miller on floor for the Tar Heels. Junior from Coral Springs, Florida. 9.825 a week ago was a career high.
Front tuck into that double back. They just look so confident in their tumbling.
Was able to keep the feet in bounds back there, got close.
Some crazy air sense that gymnasts have, I will say.
Is there any event where air sense is the hardest?
Oh, that's a really good question. I'm sure it's different for everyone. Floor, though, is where you're tumbling the most and you're in the air a lot with the bigger skills. Ends with a double pike. She did have that knee bend, a little bit of a big squat there, but she saved that so well and covered it.
Loud ovation for Miller after Wozniak posted a 9.775 in Carolina's first competition. The rotation.
Another look at that front tuck through to that double tuck. First pass. Huge smile on her face. Love to see that.
See that score come up for Wozniak, matching a career high for her. Krista Zoltevich on beam. 9.575 last week.
That handspring back layout series to start this routine.
Score is in for Jennings. It was a 9.85, so a 9.825 and a 9.85 to start out this rotation for NC State.
Great job so far for them.
48.925 gets him a 196 tonight. Big bobble there from Zoltevich.
It looked like she was going to connect something after that, so not sure if she'll lose bonus on that or try for another connection. Now for the dismount. Makes it up with a round off 1.5 stick.
Back over to floor, Cami Rueda. Into the ACC newcomer watch list. By the way, Bella Miller a 9.8.
Really big full in. She had too much power, so had to take a couple steps out of that, which will be a deduction. Too much power, though, is a good problem to have.
Bigger deduction for steps or stepping out of bounds there?
She'll get deducted for the steps and then the out of bounds as well. But when you're looking at out of bounds like that, she had so much room, so it's not a problem of her taking too many steps or taking too much space across the floor. For her last pass. Really nice double tuck to finish that routine. A lot of power just throughout. So again, deduction, unfortunately, for that first pass, steps out. You can see, again, full in, huge. Just lost her balance a little bit. I don't even think that she went out of bounds.
Yeah.
So she'll just have that deduction for those steps.
So Tevich with a 9.675. It is a season high for her, but we saw the deductions there for that one bobble in the middle of the routine. Now Lex Ortega on beam.
Lex Ortega does a really difficult series right here. A back handspring into an Anodi. Wow. It almost happened so fast you couldn't even see her twist on that second skill, which is why it's so difficult. She's just moving through this routine. Such a graceful gymnast, especially on an event like this. Really different dismount, switch leap into that back pike. Gainer pike off the beam. You can see right here, big switch leap and takes a step into that gainer back pike off the end. With another big stick.
Gwen Fink for the Tar Heels.
Starts off with another double pike. Had a lot of power in that too. Round off at 2.5 twists. We see that blind landing again. It's difficult on vaults, difficult on floor. But she made that look easy. Now for that last pass. And the crowd goes wild for that routine. Take another look at that last pass. That 1.5 to the front layout. Really saved a bigger hop from happening there. So nice job.
Wait, that Fink score after a 9.725 for Ruda. Back over to beam we go. Here is Emily Shepard. We saw a fantastic floor exercise from Gwen Fink. Shepard is who she's chasing for the all-around title tonight. 9.8 last week on beam for the graduate student from Kansas. Career best 9.925.
One thing I love about Emily Shepard is just her confidence. You can see it in all of her gymnastics. Again, beam being such a difficult event, but she is not wavering. I can't spring back layout series, solid. Wow, another nicely done side aerial. Just has that dismount left. It's going to be a big score if she can stick this.
There she goes.
Side aerial to that 1.5.
Oh, wow.
Almost had it. Small little hop, but she is pumped about that. Beautiful beam routine, so elegant. Into that 1.5. The slightest hop. Great job.
Back to floor for Kaya Forbes after a 9.825 for Gwen Fink. That is a career best for Fink. Best of the previous best of 9.775.
Another huge full end we're gonna see right here from Kaya. Huge. Wow.
Love the way the crowd gets involved in Forbes' floor routine.
And the rest of her teammates. It's always so fun. I think the crowd is probably gonna go crazy after this routine. You can see her teammates doing it on the side right now. That might be one of the most fun parts about floor.
You watch these be practiced every day. You've got them all memorized for your teammates.
Oh, you have everybody's routine. You have 6 routines memorized, at least. It's with a double tuck. She was a little bit high on that back handspring, so she lost her power, unfortunately, when setting up for that double tuck. Just landed short. Take another look. You can see her hands barely touch on that back handspring, so she doesn't get any block or power for that double tuck. She is such a powerful gymnast, though, so just looked like a matter of the hands hitting the floor.
Elena Gretti on beam for NC State after Shepard with a 9.775. By the way, we had a couple of scoring changes from the last rotation. Carolina saw Hallie Thompson and Julia Noer each gain a half point. Ellie Hadrick as well for NC State gaining a half point. Wolfpack final score on the floor, 49-2, 48-9 for the Tar Heels on beam.
NC State is going to be looking for a really big score from Chloe, which she can absolutely deliver. She's just so sharp with her movements, and that's something that the judges do love to see.
It was a big score last week with a 9.825 in this event.
Just has this dismount left. Round off, double twist. Almost had it. But that's going to be a good routine to end State's lineup. You can see again, really good punch off that round off. And had a little bit of a bounce.
Forbes a 9.275. The big deduction there, as you said, Sydney, was on that second pass when the hands came down.
Right, they're really gonna wanna be looking for a good hit routine from Julia Noer.
9.8 a week ago, career best is 9.95.
A little bit more pressure added to this floor routine, but she handled that well. Front full into that punch layout. She's really looking for a nice hit last pass. getting ready for it right here. She's gonna do a round off, double top. Really saved that landing. Nicely done. Could have been a way bigger squat, but very impressive. And a good way to finish out that lineup. Taking a look again. She's known for her big gymnastics. She delivers right here with that huge double pike. She knew it. And then that last pass, double tuck. Again, really covered that landing well.
So awaiting the score there, Negretti a 9-8 for the Wolfpack. Meaning that NC State will score a 49-1 on beam. They could have scored sub 49 and still reached 196. So it'll be a 196-225 for NC State, their first 196 of the year.
They will absolutely be proud of that. They did such a great job. A couple mistakes here and there, but really not letting it affect them in the whole meet. And that's something that's going to give them confidence throughout the rest of this year, and something that they needed.
Fall over on beam in this exhibition routine, but that's why it's an exhibition. Awaiting that final score from Julia Noer on floor, then we'll be able to give you Carolina's final score. And we'll go through the individual event winners tonight as well. It's a 9.875 for Julia Noer. It's a season best for her. The Tar Heels, a 49 on floor. So Carolina has now gone, Sydney, from a 47.625 in meet number 1, a 48.85 in meet number 2, a 49 in meet 3. Mission for Dana Durante to build seems accomplished on floor.
Such great improvements that we've seen, and something that they're going to be so proud of and happy about. Just like you said, continuing to build. I love that word of the week.
So, final scores for team totals tonight. NC State a 196-225. North Carolina a 195-325. So it's a season high for both teams tonight. NC State crests 196 for the first time this season. Event winners, Gwen Fink is the all-around winner, a 39.275 for Fink, the Carolina sophomore. The individual event winners with a 9.925 on floor. Chloe Negretti takes first there. Negretti also our individual champion on vault with a 9.875. NC State's Katie Harper, a 9.85 on bars, best score there. And Gwen Fink, a 9.85 on beam for the Tar Heels. So, NC State reaches 196 for the first time this season in front of an energetic crowd here at Carmichael Arena. For my broadcast partner, Sydney Sneed, I'm Matt Krause saying thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next Friday. North Carolina hosts Clemson. For our great crew, have a great rest of your night. Farewell from Chapel Hill.